So, like, a few minutes after they're flashing in my face, we're looking back up in the sky and seeing more weird ones doing weird things in the sky. So imagine this. Everybody there is facing one direction, looking in the sky, seeing a light, seeing it, watching it do weird things. Everyone. And then your dad is talking. He's sitting in his lawn chair facing
I forgot about this.
Oh, dude. I didn't.
I forgot.
He's like, we're all looking. He's sitting in a lawn chair, and he shoots up out of his chair. Everybody looks at him like, what's going on? He shot up out of his chair, turned 180 degrees around. By the way, he was sitting right up against a building where
The sky behind him was blocked.
Completely blocked. He's also facing forward. He shoots up out of his chair, backs up where he can see over the roof, and points into the sky right at one.
But before he did that, as he was standing up, he said, "Everybody turn around. There's one behind us right now."
Yeah.
We got that on camera.
Yeah, and everyone looked and instantly saw it. And then it was like 20 people all simultaneously asking, "How did you know that was going to be there?" Everyone was like, "How did you know that was going to?" Everyone. He's like, I know. Like, I just, they, I know.
I said, I felt it.
I felt it, yeah. And he's described that so many times where he can feel that vibration. He can feel like that tingling. Dude, he has spidey sense.
Yeah.
He has spidey sense for the orbs.
He has Orby sense.
Orby sense. You should trademark that.
I like that.
Yeah, trademark that for your dad.
No, that was a mind-blowing moment for me because when he does stuff like that is now what blows my mind. It's not even seeing them anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And by that point, my sister was there.
Yes,
she rolled up.
She came back.
Yeah, she rolled up, and I was like, "Man, I hope there's going to be more." And it didn't skip a beat. It just kept rolling.
Oh, dude, you don't even know about this.
What?
Your sister stayed till like 11.
What?
And we didn't stop skywatching
And the
until
kids?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it didn't stop when you left.
That's sick, dude.
So
yeah, Casey was feeling bad, so we ended up leaving maybe around 10:30 or so.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So his sister comes back. She literally just went a mile down the road to like have dinner with a friend or something.
Probably at I think.
It was.
Yeah.
And she comes back, and ironically, before his sister gets back.
Bleep that.
No, it's yeah.
No, for real.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's 46 minutes. No big deal. Anyway, so so your sister gets back, and the ground level experiences, although they had been going on for probably like 20 or 30 minutes, we were seeing like the majority of that's what I'm trying to communicate to the world. We're not just only seeing them in the sky anymore. We're seeing them 3 feet away.
Yeah, and that's why I was so determined to want to see them at ground level, because for now, at that point, years, probably since 2018, that might be around when y'all frequently started seeing them at ground level. I don't know.
Probably.
I could be wrong.
It's hard to put a finger on it. But
I know it wasn't always.
Oh, yeah. It used to mostly be in the sky.
Yeah, it's more recent.
And then, we might have the occasional entity run across the living room kind of thing.
Right.
Now it's like
the occasional casual entity running across the living room.
I've seen a few entities run across inside.
Yeah, I mean, I've always heard stories. Jenny had that amazing story about, was it in your front yard?
Yeah.
You guys saw that one run?
With like it was an orb.
Right. Oh, right. But it looked like a streak.
But I saw one run across.
Oh, right.
The road.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a flash of white light. It was a little entity.
Yeah, and then, Emily has those amazing stories, seeing them at ground level, seeing like all the, and I was just like, man, that sounds truly spectacular. Because for me, seeing them far away, it was always crazy and mind-blowing and unexplainable.
Yeah.
They move so bizarre. It was like, I know that is something not of this planet. But like, I always felt like, but seeing them at ground level, that would be like
the
transcendental.
Next level. It's the next level.
Yeah, like that would be a major step forward. So I was just really determined. I had been wanting this for a long time. I wanted to see him. That's why it was so crazy. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It perfectly adds to what I was saying. And so we were seeing them ground level, close, multiple in the trees. They're literally like flashing around Nick's physical body.
Yeah, that was wild.
and like all this and in my mind I'm like, hallelujah.
Yeah, thank God.
Because as many guests have come to our property, it's still usually not that intense. Let me just put it this way.
Usually in the sky.
Usually.
Yeah.
Like 90% of them.
Yeah.
And when it's that intense, is when it's like, this is significant. You know, when it's like dad's book deal, stuff like that, people coming, you know, it's confirmation for something intense and significant.
Yeah.
And, or, you know, like the History Channel, although that's not out yet and I can't say too much, with all that going down. I mean, it was intense. And the night that your family was here was on that level of intensity as high as it ever has been for anyone coming to our property, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So when your sister rolls back, the ground level stopped. You remember?
Yes.
And for the rest of the time you were there, we were still seeing them like crazy in the sky.
Yeah.
Dozens. And some of the flashes were wild. So I had the intuition that his sister's not ready yet, you know, to see it that close. Not yet. You leave, your mom and dad leaves, little Maddie leaves, and then they start ground level again. And your sister, dude, you should talk to her about that, or maybe you already have.
We've talked, but I didn't. I thought she was talking about the other experience, which we'll talk about in a minute. I didn't know she was talking about on your property still that night. I didn't know it was that.
She stayed till we have some videos where you don't see her, but you can hear her talking about her. And they started flashing at ground level again, all around us. Not quite like 3 feet away, but she was seeing them like close, like in the trees. And you know, sometimes it was so crazy. It'd be like there's 2 flashes at once, flash at this tree, and then 30 feet away, boom, this tree. They were flashing all over the trees. And your sister was like, oh my God. And I was literally like, you know what that is? Right? Those are entities. Those are actual entities. I was explaining to her because I had no idea what she knows.
Sure, yeah.
I was like, these aren't just lights, Ashley. These are actual entities.
Spirits.
Yes, like, they're watching you. They're aware of you. And she's like Jonah, like, oh my God. She was just so stunned. And it was awesome because it's awesome for me to be around people who are having the experience and they're completely open.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In the highest compliment kind of way, and no way do I mean any offense by this, but my sister does have in ways like a childlike mind in terms of like the wonder and the imagination and things like that. She does have a big open mind.
And that's not an insult. I mean, that's
not at all.
That's great.
It's a compliment. Yeah. But you know, that's so wild. I didn't know that it continued that night. And then so we had this insane, mind-blowing experience. Like I mentioned earlier, my brother owns a lawn care company. I work for him. So we drop off his daughter every morning at my parents' house. What night was that? Was that a Saturday?
Saturday. The night before Father's Day.
Okay, so before I get to the lawn care thing, the next night, Sunday night, me and Jonah are playing Elden Ring. And we're on the mic. We're talking to each other for hours playing. And then all of a sudden, I hear his sister Leah run in, and she's yelling about something. And, you know, they bicker and fight all the time. They're siblings.
Like kids do.
Yeah. So I just figured it was that or whatever. And I said, Jonah, what's going on? And he said, Mom and Leah are seeing orbs outside. And I was like, whoa, okay. I said, go out there and see it with them. So he takes his phone out there, and he's talking to me still while they're, you know, going out there and seeing it. And he's describing to me that they're seeing not only orbs in the sky like we saw that night, but then they start seeing flashes in the yard.
Yeah.
And I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, Elden Ring's done for the night.
Yeah.
I told Jonah, I said, I'm gonna hang up. You just go and enjoy seeing the lights with your mom and your sister. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And he was like, okay. And we talked about it later. But so literally they independently at their home, they saw orbs in the sky and in their yard, all 3 of them together. Next morning, I go with my brother to drop his daughter off at my parents' house. And I just kind of casually, you know, my parents were on the front porch. We were just talking. And I was just casually like, that was some pretty crazy stuff Saturday night, right? And they were both like, yeah, it was. Yes, that was mind-blowing. My dad said, that's all I needed to see. He said, any doubt that I had is gone. Like, I get it. He said, I get it. I get it now. I saw it. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, they were truly taken aback by it. They've had more experiences since then.
Really?
I told you.
Your parents have.
No. Sorry, Leah.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that. You should tell that story, too.
I will, yeah. She messaged me last night. And it was a video of like her and her neighbor friend, and he sounded upset.
He's like a boy her age, right?
Yeah. He sounded upset and was talking about something, and I asked her like, "What's going on? What is this about?" And she said I was telling him about the orbs, and about what they are and whatever. And she says she told him like, they appear as a sign if you for something. They're watching you. They're here to help you. They appear as a sign. So she said, so maybe if you look out and you ask something, or you have something that you need a sign for, maybe they'll appear to you and give you a sign. And apparently this poor boy lost his mother. I don't know when or how or anything like that, but he asked, did my mom make it to heaven? And they saw orbs. They saw orbs, and the kid was like freaking out and like crying in catharsis. Like,
that's truly mind-blowing.
Like my 14-year-old niece.
The awakening is happening, bro. I'm going to back up to that Saturday night, because after everybody left, including your sister who left around 11, me, Jack, Emily, Jennifer, my brother Jeremy, and Dad stayed sky watching till 11:30. And then finally me and Jeremy went to go to Chris Jr.'s house. Oh, I forgot. Chris Jr. was there too. Did I include him in the sky watching? Anyway, he was there. His whole family was there. Yeah. He left hours before, get Teddy home, and Jeremy and I ended up leaving at 11:30 to go to his house. So between 11 and 11:30, after all of the Fermanitas family left, we kept sky watching. And it didn't stop until we got up and walked away. That's how it is lately. We have to get up and just like, all right, we're done.
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going. Seriously. And like after everybody left, the ground level stuff kept happening a little bit, but that wasn't the mind-blowing part. The mind-blowing part was the orbs we were seeing in the sky started doing different stuff. Like I saw flashes in the sky while y'all were there too, but after y'all left, I saw some bright flashes. And then I saw an orb and I think only Jeremy saw this one too, because you know how it goes. One's looking over here, two people might be looking over. You're looking all around the sky. Everybody's not looking in exactly the same place, Yeah. And I think me and Jeremy, or it was me and Jack or something, we saw a massive comet-like streak that covered the entire sky, and it had a tail of light.
Wow!
It was a streak.
Wow!
It wasn't like a slow-moving orb.
Yeah.
Jack saw
I've seen
one.
something like that.
Oh, yeah, but it's a stunning when you see it.
And again, it's like, your brain might try to rationalize it and be like, it's a shooting star. I've seen shooting stars, bro. It's not it.
But
that don't look like that.
Also, like, you can go ahead and rule that out when you've seen, 40 or 50 orbs that night, and then you're seeing this. It's like, I'd be kind of like dumb to assume it's not an orb at this point.
For sure.
But anyway, so Jack saw a flash that he described looked like a Chinese dragon. Like,
what?
Not literally like a dragon, but like the
yeah,
it was like a wavy flash of light in the sky. Whoa. And it just was insane, man. And I wanted to say this before the sightings start. My dad's always taught me. People are always like, what's the secret? What's the secret? I do CE5. I hear stories from people. We're going to have a guest on soon who's like, I went and did a $5,000 conference with, what's his name? Stephen Greer, and tried to do CE5, and we shine lasers at the sky and didn't see anything. I'm not hating on Stephen Greer. I don't know him. I've never met him. I'm just saying there's a community out there of people who have all these protocols to try to do rituals and summon orbs and this and that. And everybody's like, Chris, what's your secret? He prays. And, he's really humble to the orbs. And one thing he always taught me is like they appear when you need a sign or you need a blessing or you ask them, on their terms, if it be their way. You just give it up. You surrender.
Yeah.
You can't be so forceful and desperate about wanting to see them. That's what keeps them away. That night, you were like, that was your moment when I was 18. And I was like, Dad, I don't understand why Chris Jr. sees him so close and I don't. And then I heard the cows.
Oh, right.
That was the same night. I had the same thought. I want to be closer. Why aren't they coming closer? Because I was so desperate. I was so anxious. And Dad was like, you gotta understand. They're magical. They know your thoughts. They know your intentions. They come when it's the right time. And then boom, I heard it. Same with you. It's I'm not saying you were anxious, but
right.
You were ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got your close experience. And before we had the sightings, I was praying out loud like, please let us have sightings tonight so that the entire Fermanitas family can be awakened. I just want them all to be a part of this. And I know that like they will understand what they're seeing, and I feel like that was a significant night for all of us, truly. The Bledsoes, the Fermanitas.
Yeah, it felt like a bonding experience for our families.
Definitely.
Like, that's what it felt resoundingly like the whole time. I was like, this is a magical, spiritual experience that is binding our families. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which is funny because we kept saying we'll join our houses about our niece and nephew.
Yeah. Oh, no. Teddy was starstruck over Maddie.
Oh, they were like completely in love with each other the entire time.
Yeah.
But